Hey guys, this is Off Kilt Toys, Games and Collectibles, and I'm here to give you a little bit of history, news, reviews, and speculation about the future in gaming. So let's just start with God. I have to start with Nintendo Switch exclusive Shin Megami Tensei 5. That game, Atlas Sega, they knocked it out of the park with that. It's one of the best RPGs in all the RPGs that I've loved and enjoyed, which would be, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy. I'm gonna throw Zelda in there. It's action RPG. It's not turn-based, but it's action RPG. Um, Shin Megami Tensei 5 is it's like an adult Pokemon. And when I say adult, I'm not talking about X-rated or anything like that. It's more like R-rated. It's you're dealing basically with gods, demigods, and demons and stuff like that. And you collect them. Basically, you get them to do your bidding. You're actually I don't want to give too much away of the story. I'm sure if any of you have checked out the reviews or anything like that, you may have already learned that. Well, I don't want to ruin any part of the game for you, especially if you haven't played through it or picked it up. But this is a game that's got some. Well, look, if you're watching the video right there, you're kind of getting an idea of what happened. You just watched that guy just perish, and you're watching another dude perish along with some kid. Well, basically, in the beginning of the story, and this is the only part I'm going to give away, and I'm not giving away anything else. Um, that main character with the blue long hair, the uh, girly boy, whatever he is, um, he's merged. He's two people merged into one. That main boy that you saw at the end, looking at the other guy like, "What the heck just happened?" He died. We're dying too. Basically, that character with the blue hair is those two people merged into one, and uh, and that happens a lot in the Shin Megami Tensei series. Um, it's just amazing. Yeah, you have a character that he's a school kid, and he runs into this being from another dimension, whatever, and they merge, and then they form this long-haired, blue-haired character, which is, he's built like a woman, basically, with characteristics of that. Neither here nor there. Um, the point is, this game is very original in the way it plays. The whole Shin Megami Tensei series is original to me. I've never seen an RPG that comes close to it. I mean, you can compare Pokemon to it, as far as the aspect of some of the gameplay and the battle play and all that. It's a lot like Pokemon. It's like a adult version of Pokemon because Pokemon is all sweet and cute looking, and you don't really have any real enemies in the game. This game, you've definitely got enemies. Like I said, you got gods, demigods, demons, and religion in the game. It's very, or should I say, religions. Many different. It touches base on many religions. This game is just it's phenomenal. It's a masterpiece. It was announced back in 2017 as one of the games that was going to come out on the Nintendo Switch, and it took till now, and it was worth the wait. And you can bet there'll be a part 6 to this series. I mean, the gameplay, the way you control the action, the way you control the commands, the graphics, the characters, the way they move, and what they are. It's just, I don't know. It's a really cool game. It's just, it's a fun game. I mean, you got things in here like from history. Like you go back and you listen to there's a there's an old goddess they called Shiva, the goddess of destruction, which is actually part of that whole CERN project in Switzerland. They put her on the CERN machine, which is a computer which is the size of a city. Well, anyway, uh, not to digress from what we're supposed to be talking about here in gaming, but that's what they do. They take like these different religions, and it's like religion versus religion, God versus gods, or gods versus gods, God versus demons, God versus Satan, God versus Lucifer. I mean, everything I'm saying is what the game is based on. It's just very strange. I don't notice them mentioning anything about Jesus or anything in the game, though. I think he was in one of the earlier games, or depicted as Jesus, but without using the name. But I think that's the only name they didn't use. But I think that that's possible that they did. In part one and part two were Super Famicom original games, but they were also, I have them digitally, and I can play them in English on my mini Super Nintendo. And they look like they're pretty cool games, but they have cool stories. But if you play anything like if you play Shin Megami 5, well, here's the question: can you start playing Shin Megami 5 if you've never played a Shin Megami game? And my answer is yes, you can, absolutely. Um, they have some. They have two different versions of Shin Megami 4 for the 3DS. Um, those are phenomenal games, very good games. Um, but if you compare them to, I mean, the music, even if you go back to Shin Megami 3, which was an original game on the PS2, which is also on the Switch, the music they use, the soundtracks are always just, they're incredible. They pick some of the best and make some of the best soundtracks scores for any RPG. Very original, and you got a lot of rock soundtracks. You just gotta, if you haven't tried the Shin Megami series, I say pick up number 5 for the Switch. You can't go wrong. You'll definitely, it's addicting. It's hard to stop playing it. If you think Pokemon's addicting, Shin Megami 5, if you're somebody who loves Pokemon and you play this, it's a completely different type of world, completely different type of characters, but very similar. Um, but in my opinion, definitely, in my opinion, better than Pokemon by a long shot. Me not being a huge Pokemon fan, I like some Pokemon games, especially the new one, Arceus, but however you pronounce it. That's a cool game. It's a lot like, it's got a Breath of the Wild aspect to it. Now I won't even. I'll go into that Zelda Breath of the Wild in a minute. I digress. But Shin Megami 5, definitely. You can't even find it in the store still. It's just, it sells out super quick. Um, Walmart, GameStop, Target, everybody sells out of it, and you find it on eBay at its full price. Unlike most games, they usually go down. You could find Breath of the Wild for $45 on eBay. Um, you won't find this game for $45 for that. In fact, I don't even think used you'll find it for that price. It'll definitely be more. Um, it's definitely a very popular game, and it won an award and for the 2021 Game Awards, and I didn't doubt it. I had no doubt in my mind, not a shadow of a doubt, that it wouldn't win a Game Award because this probably is probably the best RPG of 2021. Now, would I say it's the best RPG of all time? I'd say it's up there. It's one of the best RPGs. Sega and Atlas, they knocked it out of the park. I just got to say that I can't say enough good things about this game. Like, I just love the I just love the way it plays and the way it looks and the variety of monsters in the game and how you can even craft your own monsters. You can mix monsters together or mix angel with demons and come up with some crazy looking beast and get them to work for you. And um, yeah, you can just mix them together. And there's no way to. I don't think you can bring them back to what they were, but you can take mermaids and mix them with a some kind of weird dark horse or um, there's all these you could fuse. Basically, it's fusing them together. Um, I believe you can do that in like a lot of Pokemon games. Like I said, I'm not a big lover of Pokemon for the exception of I might own them. Have I played them a lot? No. This game, I put some time into it, and it's a phenomenal game. I suggest you pick it up. They'll definitely, like I said, part 6 with the success of 5 has got to be around the corner, and it's game on for this series. Now moving on. Um, let's see. Just RPG craze, action adventure games, action RPG. Can't get enough of them. I cannot get enough of them in my game collection. And Dragon Quest 11, although it is it's not as new as the Shin Megami. It's probably one of my favorite. Shin Megami is one of my is up there now with my top favorites. But you can't beat Dragon Quest. There's no way you can beat Dragon Quest. Nobody can. In my opinion, Dragon Quest series is a little bit better than, or a bit better than even Final Fantasy. I love Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Well, I'll go into that. I love that game too. Dragon Quest is probably in my top 5 category. Shin Megami is almost in top 5, but I'll put it in top 10. But anyway, Dragon Quest. Speaking of Dragon Quest, there can't be enough Dragon Quest out there right now. And we got a lot coming, as a matter of fact. Based on the Octopath Traveler engine, we have a remake of Dragon Quest 3 on the horizon right now. And it is coming within this year. Now, just imagine Dragon Quest 3 with Octopath Traveler graphics. I think that's incredible. And I'm sure some of you have seen the trailer out there, and if you haven't, go look it up. Go look it up. Square Enix definitely has that. They have that in the works. They have a new crafting type of Dragon Quest game coming out. And it's not Dragon Quest Builders. It's some kind of new treasure game. One of the characters from, or actually, one or two of the characters from Dragon Quest 11, the guy with the blue hair right there you see in the picture, he's one of the main heroes in the game. I think it's a younger version of him. He's like on a pirate ship and all this. I don't remember the name of the game, the exact name, but I believe that's coming this year as well. And probably the biggest coolest news for the Dragon Quest. I mean, I hope they remake all the Dragon Quest originals with the Octopath Traveler engine, um, and eventually build some of them up to like a Final Fantasy remake style, or how the Dragon Quest 11 is. Dragon Quest, what is it? Dragon Quest 8 and 11 just probably had some of the best updates. 9 was kind of cool, but it just didn't have. It's kind of like a downgrade compared to number 8 and 11 on Dragon Quest. Those are the best, in my opinion. Dragon Quest 7 was a great game, too. If it's Dragon Quest, it's good. And on top of that, we've got Dragon Quest 11 also announced. And the only thing we have on that is, I'm sorry, that is Dragon Quest 11. We have okay. There's talk about bringing Dragon Quest 10 over. That's what I was going to get at. And I numbered it wrong. Anyway, Dragon Quest 10 is an online-only experience, but they want to try to take out all the online and bring it here. Now, that's not the thing I was going to make a big deal about. Dragon Quest 11 has a sequel coming up. And they showed the font, the writing, I wouldn't call it title screen, but Dragon Quest 12 is on the way. And if you thought 11 was incredible, the mechanics on this are said to have a similar engine, if not the same, as the remake of Final Fantasy VII, which is also the similar engine to Final Fantasy 15. And how cool is that? That we're going to have. It's not going to be so turn-based RPG anymore. It'll probably be an option in there. How Dragon Quest, or I'm sorry, Final Fantasy VII remake is. But we're actually going to have a choice. And if we don't have a choice, it's going to be basically it's. They say that, I mean, if it's Dragon Quest, you can't go wrong. This is going to be a mainline game, not just a side story like some of the other ones, or a remake. This is a brand new Dragon Quest game that's coming out, Dragon Quest 12. And it's going to, all these Dragon Quest games I just, told you about, are all hitting, when they come out, they're not just hitting Japan first or America first, and they come out, Australia later. No, they're worldwide. They're going to hit worldwide everywhere. So everybody can enjoy these new Dragon Quest updates or sequels or side games all at once. That's like the new thing that I think the companies out there, especially like Square Enix, are trying to do. So we're going to see Dragon Quest 12, this new side story game, which I forgot the name of it, and the remake of Dragon Quest 3 with the Octopath Traveler engine. They're all going to hit worldwide at the same time. And like I said, each of the 3 Dragon Quest games that are coming out, the new sequel, the older remake, and the new side game are all going to come out in different release dates. Of course, they're not going to give us all that Dragon Quest goodness at once. But everybody in the world's going to get a game whenever the release date is for each one, simultaneously worldwide. And I think that's awesome. And the graphics, I mean, if you look at Dragon Quest 11, look how awesome they are. Like that beautiful Japanese anime. They say that Dragon Quest 12 It's not going to be as lighthearted like most of the games are in the series. It's going to take a more darker tone type story. That's the only thing that's known about it. I don't know. Nobody knows, except for the people at Square Enix, of what the story's going to be like, what characters are going to be in it. It could be completely new characters. Um, if it's Dragon Quest, it's going to be the same monsters and whatnot. Not to mention, well, probably some new ones too. But that's where the Dragon Quest is going right now, and I think it's going in a really great direction. And hopefully, it's. I mean, Dragon Quest is so big. They even got amusement park in Japan. It's bigger than Mario and Zelda over there. And speaking of Zelda, we've got an upcoming Zelda coming, as well as a couple other Zeldas, which have been rumored. Now, there's a definite sequel to Link's Awakening, which was they were originally for the Game Boy. There were supposed to be 3 of them originally, but they ended up becoming 2. And that was Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. Now, those are going to be remade in Link's Awakening style graphics that were on the Switch. And I think that's really cool. Plus, they're talking about adding a 3rd game to it. Now, I don't know if all of these games are going to come together, or if they're going to be released at separate times, or if they're going to be released at the same time and sold separately. Nintendo's kind of weird when it comes to doing stuff like that with their Zeldas and Pokemons and Marios. Well, we're not talking about Mario RPG. Well, the Mario did have an RPG. I'm surprised they never made a sequel to it, but I digress. I just think it's really cool that it's already made. Like, we have Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD already made on the Wii U. All they got to do is port them over to the Switch, and that's been rumored. Now, are they going to milk it? Are they going to milk the cow? Are they going to put them all in one collection, or are they going to milk the cow and sell them separately? That's the question. That's the question we never had answered. We're off to we had a 35th anniversary, and Nintendo gives us a little tiny Game & Watch style Legend of Zelda, Adventure of Link, old school Link's Awakening, and some Game & Watch game that was just really boring. Now, I don't know, $50 for that thing didn't seem like it. With those games, should have been more like half that price. Just wasn't worth $50 to me, since we probably already own those games on every system. But it'd be nice to see updates of all those some of those older Zelda games. And of course, we got to see new sequels as well. We've got some cool Zelda goodness coming up. As far as what I just spoke about, and on top of that, a Breath of the Wild sequel where we get to engage with Ganon/Ganondorf again. It's almost as if it's a sequel to, or not maybe a sequel, but well, it's definitely a sequel to Breath of the Wild. But they have that, let's see, Majora's Mask kind of darker tone to it, which is actually that's kind of cool. That can actually go in a good direction. And I believe this is going to probably be, with the way they're working on it, this is probably going to beat PlayStation's New Horizon West. I mean, and that is a phenomenal, gorgeous looking game. The new Breath of the Wild, well, whatever they're going to call it, it's obviously not going to be called Breath of the Wild. The sequel to Breath of the Wild, though, is what I'll call it. I'm not going to call it Breath of the Wild 2. For some reason, everybody does that. And that's not what they're going to call it. But anyway, I digress. That new Zelda that's coming out, that's the sequel to Breath of the Wild, it just looks beautiful. And they talked about it a long time ago that we're going to have multiplayer in it. Now, I don't know how that's going to work, but that should be interesting. And yeah, I mean, that has to be a huge game. And they've really been pushing it back. And I'm kind of wondering why. Like, are they going to take this game and put it over on the new system that they did make a little, suggestion about? That they are making a new system. They've already said it. Now, are they going to try to push this back for the new system? I think they owe us a new Zelda now sequel. That is, as well as the other ones. Not only to make up just for the 35th anniversary, and not only for us Zelda fans, as Zelda fans we are, but also we need a sequel. And then when the new system comes out, we need another sequel. I'm seeing this hopefully as a 2022-2023 release for the Breath of the Wild sequel. I'm really hoping it is. But knowing Nintendo, the first Breath of the Wild, before it even came to the Wii U and the Switch, God, I don't know. They pushed that thing back quite a bit. So I don't know if we're getting Breath of the Wild sequel anytime soon, but I know when it hits finally, it's going to be a blockbuster, because you just can't beat The Legend of Zelda. Nothing beats The Legend of Zelda. But if you put it on my radar of favorites, it's my number one favorite game of all time. I'd say Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy are second behind it. And I know the gameplay mechanics are quite different in both. But as far as my favorite types of RPGs, it's still in an RPG category. It's just a different type of RPG, action RPG, which is, I guess you'd call it an adventure game. Anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit about what I know, and also the passion I have for these games, and I'm sure a lot of you can share. You already do share the same passion on these games. Thanks, guys, for checking out the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And you guys stay safe out there. God bless.